ARMGODS have, quite inexplicably, invited the ARM historian to attend its latest edition of Valhalla, taking place in March of 2024 in Carlingford, Ireland. For its third edition, I'll be making my way over and will be basking in the glory of several arm wrestling legends and noteworthies. Therefore, it makes sense to take a closer look at what the organization is all about and what we can expect from its third edition of its flagship tournament. While I should note that ARMGODS will, generously, take care of my flight and stay, the opinions in this video will be my own, and as always, completely unfiltered. With the explosion in online popularity of competitive arm wrestling over the past years, more and more people are trying their hand at creating an organized arm wrestling organization and subsequently putting on events in various shapes and sizes. By now it's clear that a couple of these leagues have claimed the top spots in terms of overall popularity, quality, and appeal with the arm wrestling crowd. However, like with most things that have become mainstream within their niche, the development of somewhat of a counterculture is often quick to follow. This is, in my opinion, where ARMGODS comes in. Instead of focusing on exclusivity, branding, or the biggest crowd-drawing names, it seems ARMGODS is using their Valhalla events to offer a more raw experience, where atmosphere and entertainment take precedence. Or at least, that's how it might look on the surface. In reality, ARMGODS seem to be founded on a clear foundation of a passionate love for the sport of arm wrestling. At an armwrestling event sometime in 2022, a coincidental but eventually fortuitous meeting took place between two figures in the local UK arm wrestling scene. Paul Maiden and Marcus Thompson were both looking for a way to shine a spotlight on local athletes and contribute to the rising stock of arm wrestling as a whole. One of the men, Paul Maiden, had extensive experience not only as an accomplished arm wrestler, becoming the UK champion numerous times throughout his career, but also as a tournament organizer. After the downturn of the British Arm Wrestling Federation, Paul became one of the founding presidents of the Professional Arm Wrestling Association, and under its umbrella, together with a motivated team, would organize and oversee numerous events in the UK and Ireland. This experience, combined with a clear vision of the kind of arm wrestling league they wanted to create, convinced Marcus Thompson to join Paul Maiden in the creation of ARMGODS. The newly found league would be operated out of Paul Maiden's gym, Club Torture, in the greater Manchester area, and would from the start exclaim to focus on developing their own local talent. The way ARMGODS presented itself to the outside world so far might lead some people to think the league doesn't take itself too seriously. While that's probably partly true, I feel this also plays a big part in their potential appeal. What you see is what you get. No censorship or notions of superiority or self-importance. Talking about a lack of censorship, during the first edition of ARMGODS' premier tournament, Valhalla, in January of 2023, the lead-up to one of their main matches got a little physical.
Oh! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
This clip, together with having Devon Lorette and Aussie arm wrestler as live commentators, helped propel the fledgling league to the limelight in the online arm wrestling world. Valhalla 1 also utilized a rather unique style in presentation as well as atmosphere, opting for a crowded, dimly lit room adorned with differently colored flashing lights and loud, droning music. The actual matches didn't feature the biggest names in arm wrestling, but for a first edition had a good mix of established names and local talent, featuring such pullers as Mindaugas Dolskas, Tom Holland, Uncle John, Cobra Rhodes, and many others. With the first edition of Valhalla seemingly having been a success, ARMGODS decided to organize edition 2 in relatively quick succession. This time though, opting for a more international approach. Valhalla 2 would take place across the ocean, in Ottawa, Canada, in September of that same year. This time, the event would be themed as a Battle of the Nations, with UK-based arm wrestlers facing off against Canadian pullers. The matches booked for this event featured arm wrestlers like James Wall, Alan Ford, John Therian, James Stewart, and Curtis Porkchop Cameron, amongst many others. While this event had a healthy mix of known names and lesser-known pullers, some viewers derided the lack of super well-known arm wrestlers. However, it did seem like ARMGODS was stepping up the production value in a big way. Before the event, a professional press conference took place, featuring Aussie arm wrestler as a presenter and a chance for every matchup to have its time in the spotlight. Each athlete would be asked tailored questions and would have their story highlighted in this way. This served as a good way to build up excitement about matches and arm wrestlers that would otherwise have been more obscure. It's also clear from this event that one of ARMGODS' priorities was giving lesser-known athletes a chance to showcase their talents on the table, apparently also organizing qualifier events for that edition of Valhalla. This second edition had a similar vibe to the first Valhalla event, albeit a little more mellow in nature. This time, the entire room was blanketed in a red hue apart from the center table where the action took place. Camera angles were very dynamic, with shots moving through the room, focusing on athlete-coach communication in between rounds. High-energy music also still featured throughout the entirety of the event, often very popular, even extremely strictly copyrighted tracks, which of course summons a number of questions regarding the use of the footage on various social media accounts, and especially YouTube. Having, for example, the Eye of the Tiger playing loudly during your matches might make it difficult to distribute that match with audio after the fact. Although I think it's clear the event could have benefited from a more clear sound quality, separated commentator booths, less or more muted music, and perhaps more coordinated and static camera angles. When you consider this was only the second edition of Valhalla, growing pains like these are to be expected, and all the matches ultimately ran smoothly. What by this time is showing though is a clear and distinct style. Just with a glance one could differentiate an ARMGODS event from other leagues. This, in my opinion, is not an easy thing to cultivate, and something I think the promoters are doing a really great job with. The third edition of Valhalla will take place only a few short days from the publishing of this video, namely on the 23rd of March in Carlingford, Ireland. From looking at the match cards, it's safe to say the league has stepped up their game once more this time around. The number of matches is still very large at 17, but the caliber of puller is looking to be better than ever. Valhalla 3 will feature matches such as the legend Ron Bath versus Australian Ryan Blue Bowen, James Wall versus Rob Vigeant Jr., Mindaugas Dolskas versus veteran Tim Bresnan, Porkchop versus Jordan Sonev, and James Stewart versus Matej Warangi Heta-morris, just to name a few. This lineup of athletes alone promises to deliver a series of matches with great international appeal and, if capitalized on, could lead to even bigger names down the line and more eyes on the league than ever before. Instead of a strictly pay-per-view experience, several premium membership tiers have been created by ARMGODS, featuring not only access to watching the live event, but also some other perks. Valhalla 3 was made available even in the cheapest membership tier for as little as £5, which, in my opinion, is pretty great value. Whether or not this membership plan will pay off for the organization in the long run, only time will tell, but I do have to commend them for thinking outside the box and trying something different. As if to prove that they haven't lost their edginess quite yet, ARMGODS has decided to organize a thumbtack match during Valhalla 3. Yes, you heard it right, a match where thumbtacks or pushpins are involved. If one had to take a guess, these sharp implements might be placed on the pin pads, ready to dole out extra punishment for the losing arm wrestler. As crazy and irresponsible as that sounds, Evan Beerman Burgoyne and Uncle John Thompson have seemingly agreed to face each other for the hardcore belt, adhering to the thumbtack rules, whatever they might end up being. Will this be one of the craziest and most out there arm wrestling matches ever? Probably. Will this make their videos even harder to monetize? Without a doubt. Listen, I know ARMGODS might not be everyone's favorite league, or Valhalla might not be everyone's favorite arm wrestling event, and that's fine. I truly believe though, one of the true keys to growing our sport is a healthy competition between different leagues and organizations. Newer leagues like ARMGODS, who are obviously taking a serious monetary risk, are one of the big reasons we are experiencing such a booming popularity of our sport, and helps open our eyes, as viewers and fans, to a never-before-seen talent pool. If you believe a rising tide lifts all boats, more leagues means more opportunities for athletes to arm wrestle, which in turn means more potential eyes on the sport. If they continue on the path they are now and refine some technical aspects in their presentation, in my humble opinion, the future looks very bright for ARMGODS and Valhalla, and I for one will be a happy arm witnessing not only the event in person, but also watching where ARMGODS as an organization will be a few years down the line. Thank you for watching this video of the Arm Historian. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and maybe consider buying an ARMGODS membership to watch Valhalla 3. And of course, if you're going in person, make sure to come say hi. I do believe I'll be the only arm-headed person in attendance. Arm Historian, out.